Disney's hurting a little bit today. See, their stocks have gone down just a little. Though, to be fair, over the past month, they've kind of been at some highs and some lows, but they've definitely had a little bit of trouble recently. Mulan, I don't think has really worked out for them like they thought it would. They were really thinking that movie would have made a ton of money overseas, and I don't think that quite happened. It didn't really happen for it on Disney Plus, even though Motley Fool down here acting like Mulan is a big win. Though these media sites, they do what they can to make Disney look good, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that because they leave some stuff out on this Empire Strikes Back story that is kind of the main focus of this video. We're going to talk about movie theaters a little bit too, but let's go to Disney real quick. Here's from the Motley Fool. A Disney Plus price hike is coming eventually. Disney Plus has pricing power, but it needs to do this to unlock it. They need to put all their content on there, number one, and they need to not censor stuff. Really, really annoying how they do that. But Disney's hurting. The coup has really hurt Disney quite a bit. I've talked about that a little bit. So have other channels. Disney is not doing very well right now. They've been taking out tons of money. They're hurting. They're not doing good. Movie theaters, kind of in the same boat. Hollywood blockbusters, new supervillain, empty seats. Tough economics for big budget films challenge theatrical industry's rebound. So here's the problem with movie theaters. Most of them are like 10 to 25% capacity, depending on where you live. It's pretty crazy. Actually, I think it's more about 15 to 25%, depending on where you live. Some places they're not even open. Some states you can't go see a movie. It's kind of messed up. And then you have all of these restrictions and stuff. Like some theaters have it where you can take the mask off if you're eating popcorn. Like if you're eating. So why don't I just buy a big thing of popcorn and just eat it the entire time? Are you going to tell me to put it back on? Like, how do you enforce that? And then you have the people that are just scared to go in the first place. So it's a hard time for movie theaters. And I've talked about this before. They were doing bad before the coup. Okay, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Tentpole films are kind of going away. They're going to streaming sites. And it's really hurting movie theaters. You know, they depend on tentpole films to keep them going while they wait for the next Avengers Endgame. I mean, and this was, so I think it was 2019 or 2018 was like a record-setting year for the box office. Tons of money, all kinds of big, high-grossing films. But movie theaters lost money that year. And that's because they don't have anything to carry them between, the big blockbuster to the next big blockbuster. Plus, movies are just kind of, I want to say the cultural knot that we're in right now, where you can't talk about certain subjects. You have to have these check boxes hit. People are afraid to really make groundbreaking entertainment because they're afraid of cancel culture. It is a real problem when it comes to the entertainment industry. And it's one of the reasons why I think anime is thriving and so on and so on. But I don't want to spend too much time in that. The point here is they're kind of looking at older movies to save them. And you have this movie coming back, The Empire Strikes Back, returns to U.S. theaters next week. Check out the new poster. It's a little bit misleading. It never really left theaters. Let me show you this old headline. Empire Strikes Back leads to the weekend box office with $644K, 23 years after sequel's special edition update. So back in July of this year, July 13th, 2020, this movie was released in 611 theaters, and it's actually been in theaters ever since. It was in a movie theater pretty close to me a month ago when New Mutants was in theaters. And was it a month ago? I could be wrong on that timing. But anyway, you could have went and seen it there. Like, it's been in and out of theaters all year. And that's because they don't have anything to play. Like, there's nothing to play in the movie theaters right now. Well, you have like Tenet and what's that movie with Russell Crowe, Unhinged, and you got New Mutants. Other than that, there's not really that many new movies coming out. And that is kind of a problem for movie theaters. That's another problem. But I think that they can actually make more money by playing these older movies. Per per movie theater. Like, I think they can get better ticket deals, and I think, like, I actually kind of want to go. I missed the opportunity to go see this, and I didn't really want to go to the drive-in, so I actually might go watch this at the theater since it's coming back to every theater. And another thing, it'll be interesting to see what this movie makes, because now it's not going to just release at 611 theaters, which were mostly drive-ins. Now it's going to release nationwide. It'll be really interesting to compare what this movie makes to, like, Tenet and Unhinged and New Mutants, because this is an old movie. That'll be a fun video to make. But this is kind of what movie theaters are trying to do to survive right now, is bringing back all of these old movies. Disney, though, jumping on this opportunity to milk it, which is the other subject of this video. I want to show you so here's there's two things in here. One, this is all over media sites, and they're acting like this is brand new. Yeah, it's brand new. It wasn't in theaters at all. They don't mention that it was in theaters at all. Like, they don't talk about that. It's been in theaters all year, but they act like it's a 40th anniversary re-release special, which it is not. And Disney doing this in the laziest way possible. Like, check out this new poster. Everyone's excited. Check out the new poster, man. The new poster is awesome. It's literally like repurposed art, and they put 40th anniversary on it. It's friggin' lazy. This is really lazy. It's like, that's the Disney way. Milk it and be lazy. Like, you would think you would get some badass new repurposed art or something. You would make new art. Maybe like, I mean, you got all these people at Marvel. You get like Alex Ross, pay him to like make a really awesome painting or something. Like, there's things you could do to make this really cool and special and get people kind of pumped. Make a really cool new badass poster, but they don't do that. Look what they did with Rise of Skywalker. They put a Hot Toys Emperor Palpatine up on the thing. That was a real thing. Look at this. So here's the poster. I'm sure a lot of you remember. This up here, this is the Emperor, right? This is this hot toy. They literally ripped off a toy instead of getting the actual actor to come back and do the poster. This is what Disney does. They're lazy before they got in trouble with the coof. So they just go in, and this is, ooh, yeah, go check it out. Here's the awesome poster. Look, we worked so hard on it. We just put 40th anniversary at the bottom. How lazy. This doesn't get me excited at all. They're just milking The Empire Strikes Back. And I think the difference between this release and the one that came out before is Disney's likely getting a larger slice of the Empire Strikes Back ticket sales this time. I would think that maybe this time they didn't get as many. I think they just kind of put it out and probably paid the fee. This time they're probably getting a larger slice. I could be wrong, but they have the official count pimping it. So I don't know. It's just incredibly lazy, and it really does kind of sum up, if you could sum up Disney Star Wars in a bow, like, this is it right here. Lazy, effortless crap. And I'm not saying The Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back is a masterpiece. In my opinion, one of the greatest films made in American cinema, in my top 10. But you would think for the 40th anniversary, you'd do something a little bit more special, right? Especially when you're trying to milk it and you're trying to get money. Disney is, of course, doing whatever they can to get revenue from something. The parks aren't bringing in that much money. So, hey, let's put Star Wars Empire Strikes Back out. What I'm really shocked about is, why aren't they doing the original? I'd do all 6, to be honest. In fact, I would do it. You know, they're not going to put nobody would pay a dime to go see the Disney trash again. But I would do A New Hope, Empire, Jedi, and then I would play the prequels. I would do them in that order and make it a big event. That'd be, I'd go see all 6 in the theaters again just to go do it. But it seems like a missed opportunity. And you could roll that all around to have this release with the 40th anniversary, but it is what it is. I just think I think this is incredibly lazy, and it really sums up Disney as a whole and how lazy they are with Star Wars and how they're just trying to milk it for every dollar they can. Every dollar they can get out of it before it's dead. They've already done massive damage to the franchise anyway. But anyway, will this get people to go to the movie theaters? I think it might. Like I said, I'm really excited about what the box office is for this, because just off of 611 theaters back in July, Empire Strikes Back brought in a lot of money off of 3 days. Now imagine like a week or two of Empire Strikes Back at all the theaters that are open, it'll be really fun to compare these numbers to Tenet. You know, these movies. Tenet will be the big one to compare it to because Tenet's the biggest release that's happened since movie theaters reopened. So that one will be the one that I really want to compare this box office to. I'll make a bold prediction. I'll say Empire Strikes Back will make more money than Tenet. I think it's going to make more money than Tenet will. I could be wrong, but wouldn't that be something? Especially if they promote this. And I wonder if they will or not. Will we see any advertisements on this? That'll be a good question to have answered. I'm going to go see it in theaters. I'm gonna take the drive and go see it because I would like to see this in theaters again. Last time I saw it was in the special edition re-release. This one I think is the best of the special editions, by the way. Anyway, that's it. Lazy Disney at it again. Movie theaters, can they survive? Empire Strikes Back is coming back. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.